doing blackface for my first Mask Me Anything? Guys. What's up guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a Q&A about how I film my videos and edit my videos and how I started my channel and all that stuff. I asked you guys questions on my Instagram and you guys asked a bunch of really good questions that I think really cover the gamut. I'm gonna show you my setup. Please don't judge me. Being a makeup YouTuber means that you just have a mess. Like, it's just this cycle. It comes in waves. You clean it all out and then it just becomes an avalanche again, and then you clean it all out and it becomes an avalanche again. And we are in post-avalanche right now, and that is what it looks like. The reason that I look like this, not that it's not a good look, but I have my hair all tied back and everything, is because also I have this brand new mask that I have yet to try from the brand Josh Rosebrook. It is the Cacao Antioxidant Mask, and Faulane sent this to me to try, and I thought that I would put this on my face, answer your questions, and call it Mask Me Anything. I know someone else already does it. I'm sure it's a very easy pun to think of, but this takes 45 minutes, and I literally can't think of anything else that I would be doing for 45 minutes that would involve me just like sitting still and not touching my face. So we're gonna do it and we're gonna answer your questions. So let's get started. So this doesn't really have a whole lot of instructions, but it does have some promises. It says, our activating facial treatment works to detoxify, rejuvenate, and purify skin through powerful antioxidant and phytonutrient plant synergies. Rich cacao antioxidants helps slow skin cell decline and assist in collagen production to increase elasticity and luminosity. Cacao effectively stimulates and triggers circulation, which assists in nutrient delivery and supports the skin's natural healing ability. Potent plant oils support skin to calm, nourish, and maintain hydration in the skin. So, gonna put this on here. I'm of course wearing white pants with a cacao mask. Oh god, I'm gonna cover my lap. Comes with a little safety seal. Oh my god. Ooh. Whoa. Do not spill all over me, please. Man, I am really flying close to this on here. I'm just gonna use my viewfinder. It says to apply quickly and evenly. So, you know, be perfect. It does smell chocolatey, but also kind of minty. Hopefully not pepperminty. You don't want that. I've definitely had a lot more comments recently on my main channel that have to do with people having really, really strong feelings about the different, I don't know, like what they consider clean. So, you know, people are like, oh, I'd love to use this foundation, but you call it clean, but it has silicones in it. And then, you know, a very different side of the audience will say, I love your channel, blah, 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 but essential oils are awful and you shouldn't recommend them. Like, it's not so much people, you know, who are asking questions or who have opinions about like what works on their skin that really, like, that doesn't bother me. You know, of course, that's what we're here to do. It's people saying that their way is the only way that gets under my skin, because it's like, I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to fight with anybody in my comments. Like, that's not why I came to YouTube. And I also didn't start a clean beauty channel just to have people tell me to stay in my lane. I appreciate 99.9% of my viewership and commenters. I would say that most of the people that are leaving these comments probably are not subscribers. I don't know why I, you know, let it get to me as much as I do, but I think it's because I'm on a journey of my own, you know? I'm like trying to figure out what clean beauty means to me too. And I'm like surprised at how many of my products have essential oils in them and things like that. I mean, even like the Sunday Riley Good Jeans, which I don't even really use that much anymore, has lemongrass in it. And it's just stuff I just never knew and never thought about. So I'm kind of like immersing myself in this stuff. But also, I think that there's just so much dogma. There are so many opinions that people are so certain that they're right because something worked for them. And I've actually even held off on making a video about natural deodorants for that reason, because I really want to, you know, disclaim as well as I can that everybody's different and your chemistry is different. So that was all of my, you know, absent-minded jabbering while I put chocolate all over my face. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Am I doing blackface for my first Mask Me Anything? Guys, it's cacao. We're all grown-ups here, right? I'm just not gonna say anything offensive. Anyway, let's get into the questions while this mask starts to do its magic. Why did you start YouTube, and did you know what types of videos you wanted to do in the beginning? I started YouTube because I was a big fan of YouTube. I started my channel because I saw so many other people doing it who I loved, and I felt like I could relate to them, and I felt like I had something to contribute. You will notice on my channel, I don't ever do any kind of drama videos or anything like that, and it's not because I don't like those kinds of videos, it's because I don't have a hot take on that. I watch other people, I watch Abby Williamson, I watch Smokey Glow, Hannah, you know, do these kind of hot takes on these events that are going on online and stuff like that, and I'm not like above it, I just don't have a unique perspective on it. And I felt like I had a unique perspective on a lot of other things. And so my channel went through a lot of different phases, and that's why I think my followership kind of like, you know, waxed and waned over the years. And I only really started taking it seriously from like a clean beauty standpoint or even a beauty standpoint in like 2018. And that's why I really feel like my channel started in earnest like January 1st, 2018. Before that, I mean, we talked about food, we talked about health, we talked about autoimmune, we talked about eating disorders, we talked about everything. I mean, I just really was throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what stuck. I realized I didn't want to talk about medical stuff because people just come banging your door down and you can get in really deep in terms of liability really quickly. And I wanted to like very much get out of that as quickly as I could, because I was like, hey, I have psoriasis, you know, I build a community around this, and people just started absolutely like bombing me with messages, asking for medical advice and stuff, and I was like, ooh, no. No. So I got out of that. I don't know, I was inspired by, like, honestly, it's kind of, you know, passe to say now, but like Laura Lee, I really admired her work ethic. I really admired Tati's work ethic and the way that she does try and keep her nose clean. She is kind of a, you know, an adult in the room for the most part in this community. And so there were a lot of people who I feel like, you know, inspired me to be myself. That was one of the things that was really hard is, you know, once you're starting a channel, you think, oh, I'm just gonna be myself on camera. It's really hard to be yourself on camera. Like, as soon as you're on camera, you're like, what do I do with my hands? What do I do with my face? And like everything that you watch back of yourself is just like, wow, I am obviously so uncomfortable and everyone can tell. And it takes you like a whole relearning process to like figure out how to then be yourself on camera. Some people are lucky. I think Kate the Great really, you know, always had a really great presence on camera because she's a stage actor and she's trained and she has a lot of experience in it. And so she understands what she sounds like, the inflection in her voice, and like how to not stutter and like say like all the time and use filler words. She's just very articulate because she has that training probably. It might come naturally, I don't know. I'm kind of speaking on her behalf here, but you get the vibe on her channel that she's very, very comfortable. And I think that that's why her videos have been consistent since moment one. It just took me like a lot longer to get to that point because I had never really spent a lot of time talking to a camera before. So yeah. How much did you invest in equipment before you started, like cameras, product, etc.? So I would say that spending money on product was one of the first things that held me back from starting my channel in earnest in any way. I think that I didn't want to invest enough money in it, and I wasn't curious enough about it because I hadn't narrowed down the scope to what I was interested in. I felt like I really couldn't relate to a lot of the beauty community in the sense of getting excited about certain products. And I had to just crash through a bunch of items in the beauty arena to figure out why that was and what resonated with me. Like, for example, it's hard for me to go to the drugstore. That stuff just doesn't really resonate with me as much. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna do it, and I have done it, but it is still out of my comfort zone. I, you know, just gravitated towards the things eventually that I liked, but you guys kind of watched it happen. It wasn't something where I did it before I started my channel and was like, here's the theme of my channel. As far as investing in equipment, I started out on my MacBook. I just put it on my bed and just talked to my MacBook. It has flat focus, so you don't ever have to worry about things being out of focus, but it's also not very detailed. So if you were trying to do a makeup tutorial, people can't really see what you're doing. And so it's, you know, it's hit and miss. Like Sarah Verba, a tarot channel that I watch, she only uses her MacBook because there's not really necessity for her to show anything in detail, and it's a very, very easy, very foolproof way. It's not perfect audio, it's not perfect visual, but it's really easy. It's a small file and you can edit it on iMovie really easily, And I mean, I totally recommend that if you're just trying to get comfortable and trying to figure out if you want to do videos or YouTube or whatever, you know, there's a camera on your computer. And I also used iMovie, which comes with your computer. I would say that the first thing that I bought was probably lighting. I bought like a ring light and then I invested in a camera. I want to know about your camera, your filming equipment, your editing prices? Maybe she meant practices. Okay, so I film on a Canon T5i. I want the 5D at some point. You know, it's like $2,000, but these are the things that we'll invest in, you know, eventually, but this does a pretty good job as long as I'm using a good lens. Right now I'm using my kit lens because I am being lazy. I wanted to autofocus. I just don't feel like operating remotely from my computer. That's another thing. So there is this thing that goes with Canon cameras where it's called EOS Utility. It's a program, free program that you download, and you plug your computer, like your little mini USB, into the side of your camera, and then you plug a USB into your computer, and then they can talk to each other. And so I always have my laptop sitting in front of me while I'm filming because I don't use autofocus. I bought this camera because I wanted it to have autofocus for things like macros and stuff like that. Like I film other things for other platforms, for other people that aren't on my channel, and autofocus is really helpful for that. But for my channel, I want to use a short lens because it's going to show the most detail. I'll show you. I use this Canon 50mm lens. This is the same one that Kackie uses. I think that Leanne uses one similar that's like a Sigma lens, but this is very, very common for beauty tutorials because it is super detailed and it's very inexpensive. This is $125 on Amazon. I will link everything below. This is a fantastic investment, but you are going to want to hook your camera up to something where you can remotely control the focus, because if you try and use autofocus with a really short lens like that, it's gonna hunt. Hunting is when it's like constantly refocusing and it will make the viewer nauseous, and I learned that the hard way. So yeah, definitely download EOS Utility if you're using a Canon camera and if you want to use a short lens or you don't want to use autofocus, because autofocus is not always the best. I feel like it does degrade your quality a little bit. Plus you can usually hear it. Editing, I use Final Cut Pro. I finally bought Final Cut Pro, I think in the beginning of 2018, taught myself how to use it. I am by no means an expert. It is deep and wide, but I like it. I think it's good. I like kind of all of the different export options and things like that to be able to get really, really high quality, like thumbnail size stuff that people can use on their social media. I like the control of the audio, like I can fix things more easily if something goes wrong while I'm recording, etc. But do you need it? Do you absolutely need it to start a YouTube channel? No. Like Kackie still uses iMovie. I know plenty of people who still use iMovie. Also, if you are curious about my color correction settings, I used to very aggressively white balance my videos before I color corrected them, and I found that that really blew out my white balance, and that was what you guys used to see in my old videos where everything looked kind of surreal and a little on the orange side, and I stopped doing that. So the most that I do in Final Cut Pro for color correction is, as I talk about later in the video, if I record on a low ISO, I will turn the exposure up sometimes if it's helpful for detail, but I will up the saturation just because raw footage, the way that I film raw, so it comes out pretty gray, and I will actually show you here a clip of what it looks like before and what it looks like after, so that you can see what color correction looks like and how it just really helps things actually look more real. That's what I decided that I'm going for, is for it to look more real instead of so surreal. I don't think that the perfection really helps anyone. And sometimes I'll pull back down on the exposure too. There's little levers for exposure. Sometimes I'll just pull down on the black one so that all of the deep dark shades get more saturated so that you guys can see detail like, you know, eyebrow hairs and mascara and details in like the topography on a makeup or something like that. A lot of times your exposure is what affects that, but I really try and keep it minimal now. Most of the videos that I like to watch are not overly color corrected, and I want to get more towards that. How do you plan? Is any type of scripting or outlining involved? When I do an enumeration video, right, something where I am giving you a list of advice or things or whatever, a lot of times I will write it all out. Like when I do my end of the year roundups, oh boy, I write those out. I'm just like, I need to cover this. I need it to be understood in this context. I'm going to group these things together. There's definitely planning for that. When I do my foundation wear tests and stuff, I try to read up on the products ahead of time a little bit, but I've found that reading off of the website makes it so I don't get comments from people who are just reading off of the website. It's just like, hey, guess what? I covered it, okay? So that's why I do that. As far as actual scripting, no, because I'm not very good at acting. So, you know, if a company, it doesn't really happen anymore, but there are definitely companies who in the past, like if they wanted to partner with you or something, they would give you lines that they wanted you to say, and I'm just not gonna do it. Even Octoly. Well, I don't work with Octoly anymore because a lot of times the brands will be like, we want you to mention this exact line, and it's like, I don't do that. But as far as planning is concerned, honestly, I'm just starting to understand what you guys want to see. And that's what gears my plans. Like, you guys are constantly telling me what you're interested in. I know that you want videos that are useful, not clickbaity. You want videos that tell you straightforward what they are in the thumbnail and in the title, not some kind of reaction lead you on, ooh, what is it? I have a mature audience that appreciates being straightforward and being honest, and in the past I tried kind of clickbaity titles and things like that, and it just doesn't work for you guys. So from the standpoint of planning, I just make really straightforward informational videos because I found that that's what resonates the most with you guys, and it actually feels the best in my heart. What do you use to edit your videos? I use Final Cut Pro. There are other platforms too. I don't know. I know Adobe has one too, and some people prefer that. How concerned were you about privacy, and how did you handle any potential concerns? People are weird, for sure. Like when I do house tours and stuff, I never show my street, I never show my address or anything like that. And if I'm on Instagram and I tag my location, trust, I'm not in that location anymore. I will never tag where I am while I'm there, just because you just never know. People are creepy and weirder things have happened. And so, yeah, anytime I'm with somebody or anything like that, I'm like, don't tag me in that. Like, I just don't want people to know where I am right when I'm there unless I'm planning to have people know. What camera and lens do you use? I just said that. What equipment do you consider to be life-changing? Life-changing, let me show you. I would say this is, okay, so this is my hot mess. I'm terribly, terribly sorry. And I have like a fisheye lens on here. It's like a wide angle. So I have 3 different lights that I use kind of to light the front of me. And then this is usually to light my background. This is a softbox light. That's what that's called. And it just makes a nice ambient light that lights my background. By the way, oh my God, what a nightmare. This is my old backdrop. Hello, it's still here. I'm gonna redo this whole room. I like ordered a bunch of swatches from Claire. These are badass right here. I got this idea. Does this peel off? So satisfying. I never knew about that. That's awesome. I found out about these from Zoella, actually. So these are really, really cool because you can, they run either on battery power or on plug-in, so you can like buy battery packs for them. It's kind of hard to see. I'm gonna turn the ISO down here. But this has controls where I can turn up the warm light or turn it off, turn up the cool light. So I can do both. And that helps me control based on like what's coming through that window. I can adapt what I feel like is happening out there to what I really need in here. Because sometimes it's really overcast. Sometimes I'd rather have a little more sunlight. Sometimes I just need to kind of illuminate what I'm doing and not have it be warm. And so, yeah, I have 2 of those. And then I have just a regular basic ring light. This isn't one of the really expensive ones. Of course it's unplugged, sorry. Oh my God. This is making my nose run. It's making my face itch. Oh, it itches so much. How to grow and gain followers. It seems noobs are in the dark and never recommend. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Growing and gaining followers is, you know, it's always this like enigmatic black box thing. In terms of branding and in terms of timing, you can see people really striking while the iron is hot, and there is some luck to it, but I would say that timing really, really matters if you are interested in something that is happening right now on YouTube. This is just a marketer's advice. This isn't even necessarily a YouTuber's advice. Like I'm a marketer. When you see something happening in the space that you're really, really curious about, don't wait. Don't wait until your product is perfect, until your output, your videos are perfect before you get out there and say, like, put your stake in the ground. A lot of times these sort of like waves online are land grabs, right? And, you know, we look at the people who are really successful, but they had their land grab moment a long time ago, and then they built their following already. And so for a while, it was like minimalism. For a while before that, it was like this very maximalist, like, you know, face of makeup thing like that. And even before that, there was like the perfect YouTubers. There's been all of these kind of generations on YouTube. And right now, everything is very real. Everything is supposed to be very real. We're still kind of like trying to strike a balance between, you know, curation and aspiration versus being really real and being really present. And one of my favorite pieces of advice that I've ever gotten from anyone, and it wasn't even personally to me, it was just Leanne talking about it in one of her videos, and I've said this before, building a following really quickly, like having a video go viral, I'm paraphrasing, but it gives you a very entitled audience. The audience didn't grow with you, they don't value you, and they feel entitled to be a little bit less accommodating, probably meaner, you know what I mean? Just snarkier comments. And that's what happens when your channel goes viral really quickly. And when you build a following more slowly, you end up building kind of a family. And so I think that there's definitely something to be said for not just focusing on the numbers. One of the biggest things that I've noticed in my life, and this is really woo-woo and kind of like university, when I stop attaching, when I stop reloading and like watching my numbers, wake up first thing in the morning, check my social media, like when I stop doing that, things grow a lot better. I attract more positive people, and I look like a leopard or a cat or something, like the way that it's come off my nose. Oh, I can't even tell you how much it itches. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Woo. But yeah, building an organic following really slowly, it has its benefits, and I can definitely speak to that because I do feel like I have a really kind audience and they get it. You know what I mean? When I do yank a knot in somebody's tail because they said something that is not okay, my viewers are like, they're willing to have a conversation with me. They see me as a human instead of like an entertainment thing that they can just critique, you know? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. 45 minutes, really? Questions that weren't asked that I still feel like I should answer. My camera settings. I pretty much adapt my ISO, which is how much light the lens lets in, by what I see in a viewfinder. Right now I have it at 800. Usually when I'm filming in front of the window, there's more light coming in, and so I'll film at 400. You can always turn that kind of stuff up and down in post. I will say, actually, you can always turn it up in post. I err on the side of being able to turn exposure up in post versus pull it back down, because if it's too bright, you just lose detail. And so if you try and pull it back down, it's going to just make everything really like two-toned and weird and exaggerated. Whereas if you have a lower ISO and your raw file is a little bit kind of like gray and a little bit dark, you can pull color back out of it, you can pull light back out of it. It's harder to go the other way around. I film at, for whatever reason, my camera right now is at 50 frames per second. I didn't even know that that was a setting. I usually film at 60. And then when you import your files, you want to make sure that you import them at the same frame rate, because otherwise your voice will sound weird, or I don't know, it can be weird. Trying to think, I'm like looking around me, you know, I've got tripods, I've got stands and stuff. Everything that I have is from Amazon. From the standpoint of filming equipment, I just ordered on Amazon. And I've ordered like backdrops and stuff that I didn't end up using. I ordered a backdrop and it was broken when it shipped to me, and so I just sent it back to Amazon, and that's why I love Amazon, is because you can just ship stuff back. I will link all of the equipment that I use down below. I mean, all told, I probably have, you know, with camera and lights and tripods and everything, maybe like $1,200 invested. It's not that much, it's not that crazy. I invest way more in the actual makeup that I use. That's another story. Let's go wash this mask off, because I literally am like blinded by itching right now. And we'll talk about the results. By the way, my shirt says casual businesswoman. It's from The Wing, and I love this shirt so much. Much like the Hanicure mask, that was so satisfying to wash off because your face itches and it's just micro scrubby. I was scared it was gonna be like really abrasive, but it's not. The only thing, actually, I think because I just wiped my face so hard, most of it's gone. But when you're rinsing it off, you can definitely feel some oils that are left behind, and I think that's intentional, but just in my experience, that's never a good thing. I don't want it to like leave stuff behind, so I probably will go wash my face and kind of control what oils go on my face. Also, wow, I tested a new cleanser, you guys, and a new moisturizer. I changed too many things at once and I have this giant zit on my chin right now, but it's on its way out. I have been using the little zit patches from Masquerade. If you guys don't know Masquerade, they're awesome. Those little zit patches, they're called Spotted. They're amazing. And they work like overnight. They're incredible. And then I've also been using my light stem for acne, which I'm obsessed with. I forced Kiki to buy one. I literally forced her. I have receipts. I've been just smoking that thing. It's doing a lot better. And ooh, I'm red. But my skin feels really good. My pores look really tiny. And I mean, as ingredients go, I will always take antioxidants. Antioxidants, you know, they're the things that stop you from oxidizing, which is aging. Basically, you know, they're just combating free radicals, keeping your skin from aging, what have you. I'm not mad about it. I like it a lot. My skin feels really good. And for a first impression, I mean, what are you gonna say about a mask? I just wanted to do something fun on camera while I answer these questions for you guys. Let me know if you've tried that or if you've tried anything similar. Thank you for your questions, and give this a thumbs up if you like the idea of doing like Q&As, Mask Me Anything, those kinds of things on this channel. Let me know down below what else, like what would be a good theme for another Q&A if that's something you guys want to do. I am a little irritated because I filmed a vlog last night of me making this delicious meal, and my G7X, my other Canon camera, which is what I film my vlogs on, decided after years of me using like a third-party battery that they're like, you have a counterfeit battery! We're gonna turn your camera off to protect you! And so now my camera doesn't work because it doesn't like my third-party battery that's not a Canon battery. So I have to buy some Canon batteries so my G7X stops yelling at me before I can post any more vlogs, and I lost that vlog. So hope this was fun for you guys, and if you are new here, welcome, subscribe, it's fun. And also my main channel, if you didn't come from my main channel and you like clean makeup, that's what I do on my main channel. And that was a taste of me mumbling and blathering the same way that I do on my main channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, for hanging out with me today, guys. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.